Buckley's Entertainment Centre Geelong, you'll get the VIP treatment when you join up as a loyalty member. Enjoy all the benefits and rewards just by enjoying the facilities at Buckley's Entertainment Centre. The dining choices at Buckley's are superb, offering daily specials, theme nights, and most of all, exceptional value. The kids can enjoy the large playground while you enjoy dining in the bistro. So whether it's the entertainment, the newly renovated outdoor area, or the great family environment, you'll have a ball at Buckley's Geelong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the GDFL Football Club. Kylie Fisher's the new president, boys, and it's fantastic, a fantastic ambience out here. We're going to interview Barry O'Toole later. On my right, we have the Lithuanian lover, Alex Tagani. How are you, Alex?
Not too bad. I believe this is actually your former club. You might have snuck one game in?
Played one game here in 1974, that's correct. And on my left we have Grubby Cations, all the way down from Werribee, Grubby.
Thanks very much, Johnny, and it's great to be back.
That's right, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's John Mitchell, for those that don't know. Dick Philpott isn't here. He's certainly stuck somewhere between Colac and Corio.
Is he?
Yeah.
What's stuck in his car?
We can't
put the seat back.
Can't get out the door. But anyway, that's another story. Look, guys, we're going to have a little season review for a starter before we get into Saturday's games, and we're going to, as I said before, interview Barry O'Toole later. Season in review, Alex. What do you think has happened so far, and where do you think it's going to go?
Well, you gentlemen will both agree. We have three dominant teams. They're the
Absolutely.
same dominant teams that all finished with 16 and 2 last year. But from what we've learned in recent years, all of that means nothing until September starts. Now, look, Bannockburn, they're undefeated. Bellpost Hill, they're going for 10 grand finals in a row. But I think, I was going to say Hawthorn, a different Hawks, Inverleigh, they're the biggest story because they've got a bloke that averages 9 goals a game. Hasn't he caught us by surprise, boys?
He certainly has. I don't know whether he's caught us by surprise. Everyone knew that when he came into the competition, he'd certainly dominate from full forward. But, you know, there's been plenty that have done that in the past. Lukey Forbes has been one. Jackson McLeod's been another. There's been a number of players that have kicked a lot of goals and their sides haven't won premierships. So hopefully that won't be a forerunner for Inverleigh. Grubby, what do you think?
Well, I think he's a wonderful player. He's got a good pair of hands. He's a beautiful kick. But I want to see him kick 5 or 6 goals against a good side. It's all right to kick 15 and 13 against the sides that aren't going to be there. I need to see him this week against Bellpost. 5 will do.
Yeah.
5 against Bellpost is worth much more than 15 against Belmont at this stage. He kicked 4 in the first half against Bannockburn.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden Bannockburn tightened up. He had to go and get his own ball. He didn't manage any, I don't think, in the second half. So the jury's... I know he's a great player, but I want to see him do well this week. And I want to see him lift Inverleigh up that run to win a flag from, and he can.
Yeah.
I'll just mention Jack Kennedy Hunt is the person we're talking
Yeah,
about. We
yeah.
haven't mentioned his name.
Yeah.
But 86 goals. It's the most in country, or in fact, community football in the state. The next bloke from the Alberton League's on 80. He's played on every defender in the league up until this weekend. Cam Addy is the only opponent to go. I think we'd rate Cam Addy as the best defender in the league. If
Some
not,
of us would, I wouldn't.
If not,
Well,
a
I
close
would.
second.
I wouldn't.
Well, who is?
Well, I don't know, but Cam Addy doesn't play at fullback anymore.
No.
Most of the time. So how can he be the best defender
Where
in the
does he
league?
play?
Well, he played a centre forward against us, against Thompson.
Yeah, well, you knew he
Yeah.
had used Brent, who was down for a joyride.
So, you know,
I tell
like I
what,
want to say,
when
he's-
it counts, he'll play on.
Well,
Kennedy Hunt.
I
Don't
reckon
worry.
Kennedy Hunt will kick 6 or 7. So I don't know. Barton's probably a pretty good defender, wouldn't you think?
He's a very good defender.
Yeah, and if it was me, I'd be going Barton on him. He's the same size. He's pretty quick.
Okay.
He's pretty strong. Look, Cam Addy's been a superstar of this league for a long, long time, and there's no doubt that he'll get his turn on Josh Kennedy Hunt. But don't undersell that kid. He is a very, very talented player. He probably won St Joey's the Herald Shield on his own when he was a junior playing footy there. My word, he's been a good player for a long, long time. So, you know, the jury's out on who's going to win the flag. A question I want to ask is, can the 5 change, or will the 5 change?
Well, I was very optimistic at the start of the year when I said East Geelong were a chance to make the top 5. Right now they're 6. I believe going forward they're going to remain 6. Thompson will probably have a convincing win over East Geelong, and we're playing for the Polly Rankin Shield, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's been going on for a while. Yeah, look, it's not exciting to admit, but I do believe we will have the same top 5 from last year carry on.
Well, I'm not so sure.
No.
I think it might be. This week will tell you. I saw East Geelong early in the piece, and they were ordinary. They beat Corio at home, and they were ordinary. I saw them 2 weeks ago at Werribee, and they were fantastic.
Yes.
Now, I know Werribee played well against the Thompson boys.
at Thompson.
That was a game I thought Werribee would win.
And so
Very
did East
confident.
Geelong think the Werribee would win too.
Well,
It's
they
quite-
did, but I tell you what, they've got a couple of real good kids. They've got some experienced players. They're actually improved out of sight, and they could come out of the pack, if anyone, to depose Thompson.
There's no doubt about that. I spoke to Shane Barley after the Werribee win, and he said it was the best that they've played
They were
played
terrific.
for 2 years. And they continued that on against Belpost still on Saturday. They were in that game for a long, long time. And, the game on Saturday, Thompson East Geelong will certainly shape the five. I don't think that West are probably the ones that are stiff.
Yep.
West probably should have beaten Thompson. They probably had 2 shots at goal to beat East Geelong. They were 42 points or 44 points in front of Winchelsea at one stage, so they probably had themselves in a position to win another 3 games, and that would have had it sewn up already. But they didn't. Yeah, they've only been beaten by a couple of points here and there, so they've certainly improved. What I would suggest from the whole ladder, Winchelsea certainly improved, Corio certainly improved. East Geelong certainly improved. So the whole group of and I reckon Belpost still has come back to the other 2. So I think it's a really good season. I think there's a lot of teams with a lot of opportunity.
Oh, for sure. And with Bannockburn, they've been there now. They didn't do too well last year in the grand final, but they've been there because Belpost still do that every year.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of experience on their side. And, of course, Inverleigh, not just with Jack Kennedy Hunt, every one of their players has improved. Macca's got them playing pretty good football.
Yeah, Hutchie's the key there, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, my word. He's as good as any player in skill-wise in the whole competition. Look, they've improved as well. And I don't know whether Belpost Hill have dropped. I just don't think they've improved any on like the other sides have.
It's very difficult to improve when you've got an older list. Like we talk about Cam Addy, and I've got the greatest admiration for Cam Addy, and I'm not trying to square up here, but I would suggest his best footy is past him, isn't it? Really, you would think, or not?
No, it's close. It's
Yeah.
close.
Oh, he's been a
I think
superstar,
you'll
mate.
find he's still there.
Do you? Yeah, righto. I don't see him enough, so.
There's a couple of kids there like Jade Nettridge.
Yeah, good player.
Jade Nettridge started, he got better and better, and he's improved again this year. So that's one good thing for him.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to beat too.
Costello's another one.
Costello's been around a while, and he can bob up and kick goals at will. He's a very good player.
Is North Geelong the wild card if they get Breguet and Pittman all firing it together? Parker, they got Parker there. Fitzsimmons is a half forward. Now. Breguet, Pittman.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
No.
You reckon Cam Addy may have passed his best? Well, Fitzy definitely
has.
And that's
for
not
sure.
having a go at him. He's been a great
superstar.
player. Steve Rickett.
Yeah.
Some of these blokes are getting on. Briggy, he's a little bit injury prone.
Yeah.
Jamie Pittman hasn't quite... List-wise, they can. But the way they're playing, I don't think so. And they might even finish 5th.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, look, guys, we've mentioned about 9 of the clubs, and they've done fantastic. You guys have asked me a few tough questions over here, so I'll hit one back.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest drop and why?
Oh, look, there's no doubt in my mind the biggest drop is Beaumont.
Yep.
They lost a few players over the pre-season, and they haven't really replaced them. They were a side that threatened. I think they won their last 6 games last year, didn't they? And they've threatened to. They threatened to shape the 5. Well, they did threaten to shape the 5 last year. This year, they certainly haven't fired a shot. Now, I know. Talking to their coach that they've had an inordinate amount of injuries. They've had 12, 14, 16 players that they couldn't pick from. So that doesn't help anyone. But I would say they'd be the big sliders.
Well, I'll probably get punched up here, but I think Werribee's dropped away a bit too.
Yeah, they have too.
I think there's an excuse for that.
Yeah.
And I think the excuse for that is they've got probably 7 or 8 of their under-18 grand final side last year, all in the seniors at the same time.
Yeah.
So the results become inconsistent. They were terrific against U-Blokes.
They were great against Thompson.
They were terrific against Belpost. They had him on the ropes for a while. They were very poor against East, but that was East good footy. They tend to get... Although Macca rated them as a challenge early last week. The scoreboard didn't tell the story.
Yeah.
But with all these kids... They've dropped this year in the hope that I think they can get some experience into them and be all right in years to come.
Well, the coach was very bullish at the start of the year at Werribee. He said, look, if they don't make finals, I'm probably gone, because he thought that they had the talent to make finals. Now, I don't know what injuries they've had, but it's always a dangerous situation when you put your head on the line like that.
Yeah, I got him into that a little bit.
Did you? Okay.
Their big injury is their ruckman.
Yeah, right.
They've lost him,
yeah.
and now there's young Johnson. He got hurt again on Saturday, so they're struggling for big blokes.
Yeah.
But look, as I say, they've got a lot of kids, and the kids are in the best players every single week.
Okay, well, we're probably. Do you want us to go to? Do we want to do a game? The game of the round now before we finish, or which would be obviously Inverleigh and Belpost Hill would be the game of the round. It's probably one of the games of the year, to be quite truthful. So, Robbie, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's going to be a very good game of football. It always is, no matter where these two sides play. They're going to finish 1, 2 and 3. We all know that. I think Belpost Hill probably saved their best for St Albans in September.
Yep.
And they're pretty confident they won't drop out of the top 3.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't seen the sides yet, as it's a bit early in the week to see the sides, so it's hard to tell there. I just think at the moment, Inverleigh are going the better. As we mentioned before, Jack Kennedy Hunt, Jimmy Hybans. Look, Ren Lovett's probably been consistently one of the best ruckmen in the comp, but talent-wise, Jimmy Hyben beats them all. And if he can fire, I think Inverleigh will win this.
Alex?
Well, I'm one of only 2 people that were brave enough to tip Belpost Hill in the record, and that is simply because I know Nathan Mays is going to be out for the next 5 weeks of a hand injury.
Yep.
That's one of your main ball winners that gets the ball to Kennedy Hunt.
Yep.
Inverleigh are still favourites, but I agree with Grubby. You've got the 2 blokes that fought for that top spot for ruckman in the team of the year. Yes, Ren Lovett got it. He won the best and fairest at Belpost Hill last year. But now Hybens has Hamish Bennett, this top basketballer that helps him out, and Hybens has improved from there to there. The other interesting element, finish off on a light note, because I'm about to go grab Barry O'Toole and you guys can talk to him. The Grozdanovsky brothers are going to play against each other. You've got Jason from Belpost Hill, and the 2 Inverleigh boys are going to give him a surprise in the first quarter. So
that's fair
I'll
enough.
go for the Hawks,
that's good.
but it'll be an entertaining clash.
I thought you said you were going for Belpost Hill.
Oh,
I
like to
can't tip them both, you cheat.
The great man walks in, Nobby Nolan walks in, and he goes to water. I don't know what's wrong with you. Just before we do go, we've got to mention Sunday's game. The Indigenous played the Indigenous, not an Indigenous round, but these 2 sides play for have an Indigenous clash, Belmont and Carrara. And we've got the Indigenous jumper on here.
Yeah, they look good too.
Jeez, you've got some fat kids out
I
there.
reckon I might be sneaking out with one, actually. I tell you one thing, though, Mitch. If you at Werribee, Thompson, Bannockburn, wherever, just come down for an hour or so and watch the game. Pay your $5 to get in. Don't use your membership ticket. Pay your $5 to get in, or $7, whatever it is.
When was the last time you paid $5 to get in? You don't even know. It's $7.
Well, I'm going to this Sunday anyway. I'm going to this
It's $7, mate. It's been $5 for 10 years.
Well, I got a ticket and I use it, but on occasions like this, pay your money, help the club out, and come down and support both clubs here on Sunday.
I certainly would agree with that. And whilst I'm here, I just want to say something about the young lady that's taken over Corio as the new president, Kylie Fisher. I had the pleasure of being on council with Kylie for a number of years, and I can tell you right here and now they have got the right person at the helm, and they'll certainly kick goals with her. She's the heart and soul of the northern suburbs, and good on you, Kylie, and all the best for the rest of the year.
Mid-City Motel Warrnambool. 61 premium and standard rooms, all with complimentary high-speed Wi-Fi. Perfect for a family getaway, function or business overnighter. The cocktail bar and restaurant is a great place to meet and enjoy local produce from the surrounding district. Chef specials change daily and our signature seafood platter is a must. The Mid-City Function Centre is the ideal place for your next corporate or social event.
For your first choice in accommodation and hospitality, choose the iconic Mid-City Motel Warrnambool.
Righto, we're here at the Corio Football Club with one of the all-time legends, Barry O'Toole. Bazza, welcome back.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, it has.
Where did it start?
I started here at Corio back in, I was 4 years old. I played under nines.
Under nines, yeah.
How
did you kick that day?
Maybe 1 or 2. I can't really remember. It was a long time ago, but I've always been here.
Yeah.
I've gone out to a couple other clubs and just, test the waters and, get a feel of what it is like at other clubs and stuff like that.
I think that's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Gives you a better grounding, I think. What clubs have you played for?
I played at Forest back in 99.
Games, how many?
18.
Yeah, just a year.
Yeah, just 1 year. My brother was coach down there, so I thought he tried to get me down there for a couple of years before that, but I went down because I wanted to play with him because I never played seniors with him. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's just a really good experience, I suppose.
You stint at East Geelong, you were there last year?
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Knowing that it was Rick's last year, I really wanted to play with him. Couldn't get him back here, but so I went there and played with him in Beach and really enjoyed it.
Kicked a lot of goals, mate. People thought Barry O'Toole going to East Geelong, what are they doing? But kicked over 60, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was just under 60.
Yeah,
but,
just under 60, yeah, right.
Yeah, it was a really good year. they had some good young blokes, and we went all right. We probably lost a few games, close games that probably cost us in the end, but just the main thing to go there was to play with Rick and just really enjoy the last year with him.
So what brought you back to Corai? Just coming home?
Well, Nobby rang me during pre-season and said, you know, he wanted to get a few of the old boys back and just around some of the young kids. So I've always wanted to come back and finish here and see how I go. But when he rang me, there was no hesitation really. It was just something I wanted to do, finish up here.
Mate, you also went out to Inverleigh just before East. When you got to Inverleigh, did you actually ever think you'd be back here playing?
No, I really enjoyed my time at Inverleigh. So at the time I thought I might stay here for a couple of years and maybe finish here. But just with the travelling and stuff like that for training and with a young family, it just made it a little bit hard.
Yeah. Look, just to take the limelight away from you just for a second, I went out to the three-quarter time huddle last week, and even though Nobby was a little bit disappointed with their third quarter, because they were right in it till half-time, he was really encouraging, he was really positive, and I noticed when you came off, he said to you, I want you to do all this, all with the mouth. Like, you got a bit of the ball. Is that a role that you've taken on at the club now with all the kids?
Yeah, because we got so many kids. I've just took a step back from coaching and stuff like that, but I really talk to them at training and game day and just give them a bit of advice, and you know, they come and see me if they want a bit of advice as well. But we've got some really good kids, so
I saw
the
them on
future's
Saturday,
pretty bright.
actually. Young Dylan Shelley's a really good kid.
Yeah.
He's a very good kid.
Yeah.
Next year, if that role's still available, that probably prolong your career. You go again next year?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It just depends on the body, I suppose. I wouldn't mind going around again, but I've got to be worthy of playing.
Well, mate, anyone that can do the Kokoda track or the Kokoda
I was
trail...
going to ask Barry about Kokoda. How did that go?
Yeah, that was pretty tough.
Pretty tough?
Yeah, it was mentally tough, physically tough. I got through it pretty well.
Yep.
But, it was really enjoyable. You know, just along the way, some of the stories and that they say to you and what they went through and stuff like that. It really opens up your eyes.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They weren't shooting at you, I suppose,
No,
so that
that's
makes
right.
a bit of a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So Kokoda's fair bit easier now than what it has been. But look, on behalf of the team here, both Grubby and myself and everyone else in the Geelong and District Football League, and not just the Geelong and District Football League, but local football leagues all around Geelong. Mate, you've been an ornament to the game. You've been a tough bugger. I watched you play as a kid. You know, my son played against you when he was playing juniors and seniors, and you've been a tough bugger, but you've been a bloody good footballer and a good, honest, hard caller. And
if that's tough, I did have one more question.
yeah, all right.
300 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many would it have been without suspensions?
I've only got 8 up.
That's right.
Is that all?
Yeah, there's been a few,
I meant tough
been a
but
few
fair.
injuries. Been a few injuries.
Punching blokes isn't tough, Grubby, you know that. But
Hard at the ball, that's
hard
the
at
way
the
you
footy,
gotta go.
mate. That's what he's been, and he's been an absolute ornament to the Corai Football Club. So, Bazza, from me, congratulations,
Thanks,
and
mate.
enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy.
No worries, mate.
Thanks, Grub.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks, Barry, for that great interview. He's been an absolute legend of the league, absolute legend, Grubby, and
The whole family has.
absolutely. The O'Tooles are synonymous with the Corai Football Club. There's no doubt about that. Good to see you back, Alex.
Yep, thanks,
we'll rip through the teams now and the games. We've already spoken about Bell Post Hill and Inverleigh, and we've all gone except for you, but we don't take much notice of Alex anyway, do we? We've all gone. Both Grubby and myself have gone for Inverleigh, and Alex has gone for Bannockburn. Bell Post Hill.
I have gone for Bannockburn
You have,
as well.
you
We'll
have.
quickly go through that
Who
game.
do they
actually.
play?
They play Winchelsea.
They do.
It'll be pretty one-sided, but I
I
just
don't
think...
know so much.
Okay, go on.
Well, I saw Winchelsea firsthand last week, and whilst they got overrun, I think Bannockburn will win this game and win it fairly convincingly. But they're probably in a bit of a lull at this time of the year. Grubby, do you think they've sort of taken their foot off the pedal, maybe?
Well,
maybe in a heavy training phase, mate?
I don't know. It's hard to say that when they're undefeated.
Yeah, it is. But they haven't been as impressive, mate. That's
Probably
what I'm saying.
not. They probably haven't been as impressive as they'd like to be, and they probably come back and gear up for a final series. Where's the game at? Is it?
This will be at Winchelsea.
Yeah,
It's their
Winch.
ladies' day.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant, but anyways.
I think that'll
I'll
make the
tell you,
scores a little bit
I'll
closer.
tell you what is good at Winchelsea. The jelly cakes at half time. They are the best
They
jelly
are
cakes at
very
half
good.
time. They're rippers.
Very good. But one thing I've noticed with Bannockburn, since Ben Stretton, this Werribee VFL ruckman, has joined the side, He's in the ruck with Colt, and now Fulton is a permanent forward.
Yes,
That's dangerous.
that makes
Since
it.
that's
That's right.
happened,
That's
5
made a
goals
difference.
and now 6
Absolutely.
goals.
Absolutely.
You don't need Tom to kick
No,
6
and that,
or 7.
that helps
see?
Tom out, because Tom plays up the ground a bit, doesn't he? So, that certainly made a big difference to Bannockburn, and they, as you say, they're undefeated and they're probably favourites and deservedly so. The next game we're going to get...
Oh, selection.
Haven't you? I thought you said Bannockburn.
Not yet, I haven't.
We're going to say it now?
Well, I'm going to, but Winchelsea disappointed me against Belmont. They took all day to shrug them off, and it just worried me.
Young
whether they
side,
got-
mate. They're a young side.
They're coming up, but I'll tell you what, I think Bannockburn, even out there, will win and win well.
Yeah.
They've certainly got the bones, Winchelsea, but I'm going to pick Bannockburn as well. And Alex, I see in the record you've picked Bannockburn.
I have.
You have?
But look, there are a few games that you play for Shields. One, quickly, it's the Ray Parsi Priddle Cup, North Geelong.
Chesty
Anarchy.
Priddle,
Chesty.
mate. Chesty
Sorry,
Priddle,
sorry,
mate. Chesty.
Chesty.
They call him Parsi, but I used to work with him. Chesty Priddle, been known as Chesty Priddle for 100 years.
Chesty. And look,
Yeah.
Anarchy actually had that upset win over North.
They did.
Round 18 last year, but I don't think North will lose this one.
It's going to be interesting. North need to show a little more than they're showing. They've certainly, in my opinion, as I've said before, Grubby, on paper they're a pretty solid team. I don't think, I just think the key to them is obviously Begay and Pittman, and they've got to get in and get a good block of 6 or 7 weeks together, and then I think they'll frighten a few teams. I'm going to pick North Geelong here today too. So,
Who's Brigade?
how do you pronounce his
Briggy.
name? Well, that's all right. I say Brigade.
That's 'cause
you're from
Philpott says it.
You're from Werribee. I'm from East Geelong, Thompson. At Thompson, we call it Brigade.
Well, at Werribee, we call it Briggy. But
Well, there you go.
you asked me before about North Geelong, and I'm still a little bit worried about them, and for that reason, they can't afford to drop a game against Anarchy.
No,
We've
they
been
can't. Yeah.
up and down, but a little bit disappointing, and I just think North have to win it, and they will.
Yeah, Anarchy need their full team together before they can,
Oh, yeah.
they can press. They can't afford an injury. Now, Thompson and East Geelong for the Polly Rankin Cup. Polly, a great mate of mine, played in a... That's the worst likeness I've ever seen in my life, mind you, too, but that's okay. But played in the Evelyn Hurst as a 16-year-old in a premiership side, Polly. Actually took Kevin O'Leary's spot when Kevin couldn't get leave from the army.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's been a great player, and a great fella. Polly, Coach Thompson played at East, and it's at East Geelong for their Past Players Day.
Yep.
Alex.
Look, I was really harsh on East Geelong on radio a few weeks ago. I said that they had Ash Brown, they had Rupini Vesekuru, and there was a massive gap between their top 2 players and their third, fourth, just like you see with the Geelong Cats in recent weeks. But now an Earl Cody and a Riley Coops and even a Jacob Nawadi, they're actually filling that gap, so they're competitive. But based on how well Thompson did last week, I did not anticipate an 80-point margin. In fact, I don't even think the players did. They only found out about that after the game. Thompson are in hot form, and you've got to go with them.
They're pretty solid, Thompson, over the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. Grubby?
Yeah, from what I've seen of their results, they've been a little bit up and down.
Yeah,
they
have.
play really well one week and not so well the next. I haven't seen much of them since very early in the season, but I did see East Geelong 2 weeks ago. And I tell you what, the kid you mentioned, Nagawati, he put in a blinder against Werribee.
He's the co-coach.
No, that's Vesekuru. And
okay.
he put in an even better blinder.
Yeah.
And Ash Brown,
Yeah.
he's going to be my tip to finish in the top 4 or 5 in the Neville Whitley medal, that kid.
First club he come to when he come to the GDFL was have a talk to Thompson.
Yeah, well, he
because
bloody well should have stayed there.
I rang. I was told about him and rang him up and said come over and have a talk. But anyway, he ended up at East Geelong. So that's
Well,
another
at
story.
East Geelong in front of the past players and what I saw 2 weeks ago, I'm going to pick him to knock Thompson off by a kick.
Yeah,
That's
look, it'll be a great game. There's no doubt about it. Thompson have got a lot of injuries, that's for sure. Jackson McLeod.
Don't make mistakes already.
I'm going to pick Thompson. Don't worry about that.
Brent McLeod has an injury at the moment. He's at Ocean Road.
This year.
Here we go. We've got an exclusive here.
But Jackson McLeod, we miss Jackson McLeod something horribly. And, the reality around it all is they always have their past players' day when we play at East Geelong. We usually win. I think this will be a lot closer than what it's been in the past. There's no doubt that Thompson's form over the last couple of weeks has been the best that they've been for the whole year, and I would suggest East Geelong's form over the last couple of weeks is exactly the same. So I know Shane Barley well, and Shane has been very, very buoyed by the way that they've gelled together, and it's a credit to him because he was under a lot of pressure. So I'm going to pick Thompson in a tight one, as you would expect, but look, it'll be a good game, and if anyone's doing nothing Saturday, rock along.
It could be the match, one of the matches that are around.
I think it'll be the tightest. I think it'll be the
They
tightest.
missed Jacko.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about
Well,
that.
he's not a bad bloke, is he?
No, good bloke.
When you
good
watch
bloke.
him from a Werribee
Yeah,
point of view,
yeah.
you think, I don't like this smart aleck.
Yeah.
When you're talking,
Yeah,
he's a
it's good.
ripping kid.
Ripping kid.
A ripping kid, yeah.
I'll tell you someone who's he's in fine form is Sammy Jacker. He's in fine form. He could play at GFL level tomorrow off a half-back flank. There is absolutely no doubt about that.
Can I make an admission?
Yeah.
When he made the interleague side, we had a bit of a laugh about it and thought, he's not good enough for this kid.
This is the great... you want me to get on to interleague? I'll get on to interleague. The people that pick the interleague side are fair income kidding themselves. It's been better this year, but I'll tell you right here and now, I don't care whether they won. I'll tell you right here and now, what they tend to do is pick names, and they should pick players that are in form. Not names. This bullshit, this crap about, I don't know whether he can play at the level. What a load of garbage.
No, I
Pick
disagree.
players that are in form, let them... Oh, rubbish, mate.
I disagree. They've picked Sammy Jacker. I had a bit of a giggle because I didn't think he was good enough.
Why?
Can
he kick?
But
the best kick in the league, can he run?
Just from what
can he
I've
mark?
seen, I thought
can he do all them things?
But I tell you what,
as long as he can kick, run and mark, he can play anywhere. Anyone can play anywhere, mate, if you put in the right spot.
I tell you what, he wasn't far off winning the medal that day, and that changed my idea of Sammy Jacker.
So now, you're not going to look at someone over the fence and say, geez, he's in good form, but I don't think he can play at interleague level.
No, I saw Sammy Jacker play early in the year and he didn't play very well.
Well, he might have. You've seen him over a number of years, mate. He's been a good player for a long time.
He's been a good player.
Good. And give him a chance.
He's jumped up in my estimation because
he's been given an opportunity.
In a big game. And
because he's been given an opportunity.
So the selection's done the right thing.
You can't play at a higher level unless you're given the opportunity, mate.
Well, that's right. And you're saying you shouldn't be given it.
I said he should be. I said you should pick players in form. Give them the opportunity, and you'll find out. And you'll find out. You know what you'll find out? You find out there's a lot more players out there that can play at the level.
Well, I tell you what, there was a couple picked the year before that we found out couldn't.
That's good, but you've got to pick them. You've got to pick them.
Well, that's how I found out about Sammy Jacker. Good ordinary football.
All right. Well,
we better wind up. That's my hobby
One thing with
horse.
Sammy Jacker, he's got his attribute, in my opinion, in his marking. And if there's one player that beats him, it's the last game we're previewing for Saturday, Braden Mitchell at Geelong West. Now, we mentioned earlier in the program, Geelong West's last 5 games...
What number's he? 40?
Number 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 5.
From Gippsland, he takes screamer after screamer, and you know what, Geelong West, they should have probably won 4 of their last 5 games, and even the other one against Bannockburn, this is last year's minor premiers versus Wooden Spinners, 86 all with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So where are they on the ladder? They're 9th on the ladder now, but if they won those 5 games, they'd be in the top 4, 8 points clear of North.
I told you about ifs before.
Yes, I know. But look, it's going to be a big game.
Was he picked in the interleague side?
He wasn't even in the initial 40 squad. So that's my only big one, Braden Mitchell.
Well, never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
He'd be in my top 10 for the Whitley. Well, he's in my top 10 for the Whitley right now.
Some experts we are.
All right?
Who was that bloke we interviewed?
Don't know. Who was he?
Barry someone.
I tell you, BJ's back at East, they tell me.
Oh, well,
BJ O'Toole.
He goes from there to there, quicker
I
than
don't
a
know.
ping
Yeah, but anyway,
pong
keep
ball.
going- keep
Anyways,
going on the
that's
West.
the last one for Saturday. Werribee and West. I'll ask you, John, non-biased.
Yeah.
Werribee have any chance?
I think West will win.
Yeah.
I think West will win. Look, I saw Werribee probably at their best, and they were terrific. And you know, I've got a bit of man love for that kid Jones. He's a good player.
Which one?
The one that plays at full forward.
Well, they're both playing. They're twins.
Yeah, I know. One plays a centre half back though. They reckon he's a good player. The bloke plays a centre half back, but I've only ever seen the other fella play well. He's a good player. This is a toss of the coin because either or can win this. But I'm going to pick West Geelong because they've been a bit stiff and they've got to win one.
Yeah,
They're certainly far better organised than what they've ever been.
I think their form says they're in front of where everyone does on the ladder as well. And as you said, with a couple of those extra wins they could have got, they could have been 4th or 5th. But Jones probably won't play at full forward. Well, without Morgan, and if young Johnson goes down, he'll have to play in the ruck, I guess.
Yeah.
Look,
he's a good player, isn't he?
Oh yeah. He's 35 years old.
You see, it's unbelievable. He just
he's
runs
not a
around
kid
like a
anymore.
spring chicken. Yeah.
But the thing is, with Werribee, if they can go out and play like they played against Thompson, Belpost, Belmont, then they're a real chance. If they play like they played against East Geelong and a couple of others, then they'll get beat. I think West will be too strong for them at West. If it was at Werribee, I might go for Werribee, but I think I'll just go for West. Yeah, just wherever.
Okay. Righto, boys. Look, thanks very much for tonight. You can follow us on YouTube.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Get on all of them.
Get on all of them. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. The website.
Yeah, the website.
Remember, that's GDFNL.
Is it?
Yes.
That's why I can't get on.
Yes.
Okay.
GDFNL.
GDFNL.
Yes.
Ah, right. Netball. I hope you enjoyed the netball show before us. But look, that's all from us tonight. We'll wrap up here at the Cryer Footy Club. Remember, if you're doing nothing on Sunday, come out and see the Indigenous round. If you're doing nothing on Saturday, go to your local footy and you know, just enjoy local footy, because we certainly do. I hope, Dick, you've got out of the car. I hope you're not still stuck in the door.
Well, I'm going to enjoy it.
You're going to enjoy
Well,
it?
I've missed a couple, so
Oh, you've been suspended. Are you back?
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
We'll have to do a story on that. You got 3 weeks.
Oh, I've got 5 in the finish.
5 weeks.
Just about 4.
What did you do?
I disgraced myself up at the interleague. And,
Did you?
Yeah, copped it on the chin and
Did you?
deserved everything I got, but we'll get back and we'll do the right thing from now on.
Do the right thing. No swearing or anything like that.
No, it wasn't too bad like that.
Not
no.
drinking before the game, in the middle of the
There might
game,
have
after the
been- There might
game.
have been a little bit of that go on, which I'm very sorry for, and it won't happen again.
All right, that comes to
Good
an
on
end
you.
now.
That's the finish. Look, thanks very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the show. Dick will be back next time, and in a couple of weeks we'll be back on. But follow us
Yeah,
on
follow
all of
us.
those things.
Everything, there'll be information in your record,
Yep,
buy your
absolutely.
record, and you can see the tipping ladder, see how these two blokes are faring each week. All right?
Hey, Alex puts his tips in after the games. That's
Oh,
all I'd like to say. All right, see you guys.
Well done.
Cheers.
Mid-City Motel Warrnambool. 61 premium and standard rooms, all with complimentary high-speed Wi-Fi. Perfect for a family getaway, function or business overnighter. The Cocktail Bar and Restaurant is a great place to meet and enjoy local produce from the surrounding district. Chef specials change daily and our signature seafood platter is a must. The Mid-City Function Centre is the ideal place for your next corporate or social event.
For your first choice in accommodation and hospitality, choose the iconic Mid-City Motel Warrnambool.